Good afternoon. I'm eating another steak. Surprise, surprise. Zoe can't be in the meat video today because she doesn't have any clothes on because she's playing in the pool. We're eating yogurt. She likes yogurt, coconut yogurt.
Well, I like vanilla yogurt.
Vanilla yogurt's good. Maddie doesn't eat it, but it's good. This is actually my second ribeye already this morning. Man, it's good. I'm making another video because I keep getting a lot of like the same questions from especially friends and family because everybody's real skeptical. Hey Jen. Everybody's real skeptical of the diet, and it's like it's really hard for me to explain it to people without like hitting you over the head with it because that's really how it has to happen. Like yesterday, I was explaining to my father-in-law like the basis of the diet and why carnivore works, and you know, we've been doing the same thing for a long time. Change is hard, especially when it comes to food. What's up, buddy? You want some steak? All right, here. Yummy. I love it. The kids love steak. So anyway, what was that? Where was that? Oh yeah, I was just explaining. It was like human beings are getting sicker and fatter and dying earlier, and we're eating less meat, more carbohydrates, more plants, less animal products, and nobody's making the connection. What I know about this, with the stuff that I've been looking into, is that the government for years has been lying to us. I don't know if it's intentional or if it's like actual, some elite that wants us to die early, because they think that we're using up their resources. I don't know what it is, but for absolute sure, they have been giving us incorrect information. Zoe, you gotta have your clothes on. Go get your clothes on. Nope. You gotta go in there and get your clothes on. You can't. No, because that stuff's in the video. Go get your clothes on right now. Go inside. Kids don't listen. I don't mind you running around naked when, I'm not making a video, but we don't need everyone to see your tush. Kids like to play in the backyard naked, in the pool. In the little kiddie pool and the water tables. And so, yeah. With certainty, human beings are not supposed to eat plant material. Our stomachs aren't designed for it. Fiber doesn't do anything other than back us up and slow absorption of nutrients. And all the data for plants is basically, some green agenda push. And it's all lies. I mean, like the data on cows and like the greenhouse gases from cows, that's all lies. I mean, plants in agriculture, corn and monocropping and all that, it's destroying the planet. It's destroying the fields. The only way to really recover those fields is to put cows on them and let them, graze for 25 years, and their manure and everything goes and regenerates the soil. But as it sits, if we keep, going after this plant-based diet and push plant-based push, and we're going to destroy all of our fields. We won't even be able to grow food in 20 years. But seed oils, that's another thing that's a huge, they're putting seed oils in everything. All the Beyond Meat and Impossible Burgers and all that is just soaked in seed oil. It's highly inflammatory, destroys your arteries, slows you down, makes you feel stupid and brain fog. Everybody's eating it all the time. Every time you go to a restaurant, you're getting it. You're getting hit at some point. Not everything at the restaurant may have it, but every time you go to a restaurant, you will come in contact with it. But I started off doing the carnivore diet probably, I think it was in January, so it's only been 5-6 months. And I started with just eating a ribeye every day, and then after about 2 or 3 weeks, and I got over the cravings, I noticed that I just felt great. I have the same amount of energy at 4 in the morning as I do at 8 at night. I never get the ups and downs of the, oh, I'm tired, it's 2 o'clock. You know, if you're on a diet and you need a cup of coffee at 2 o'clock, you are on the wrong diet, right? You should not be eating a diet that would allow you to be sleepy and tired at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because historically, if we would have got tired at 2 o'clock and sat down to take a nap, we would have been eaten by lions, right? You should be on a diet that allows you to feel great the whole day. And caffeine should not be a necessity, and I feel like for most of you it is. You know, needing coffee every single morning is a crutch. And if you're not feeling good, it's because you're not eating the stuff that's making you feel good. And you don't really experience that until you've done it. You know, I got a few friends, like my friend Justin Tooley. You know, I started posting stuff online. He started seeing it. You know, he asked me questions here and there. And then finally he decided to dig in. And it was life changing. Yep, skin issues are going away. Energy's good. Losing weight. You know, feeling good. Humans are hyper-carnivore species. We are supposed to be eating the fat and flesh of animals. All this data it's in the literature. They've tested the isotopes of our bones going back 4.5 million years. And we absolutely should be, at minimum, hyper-carnivore. At least 99% of your diet should be meat. No, that 1% is basically just not a necessity. It's just you can get away with it. You know, it's not optimal. Oh, that's good. I think for me, I'm 99%. I do like use stevia sometimes for a few drinks that I have that like I use stevia in them. But other than that, it's 100% meat. And I do think that fruit sometimes is okay. Like, it can make you feel good as long as it's in a small amount and ancestrally appropriate. There's a lot of people that say, you know, it's bad and this and that. I don't think it's bad. So yeah, that's the main question I get. What do you eat? How can you survive without plants? And I look at like, to me, now that I know what I know, I think, how do you survive by eating plants? One, all of the essential nutrients that we have to have for survival. There's a list of them, about seven or eight. They only exist in meat, meaning that if you do not eat meat, you do not get these nutrients that we have to survive. There is no plant that has them that we can survive on. Like, vegans are literally wasting away, depriving themselves of nutrients. It's just obvious that is not the diet that we're supposed to be on. You know, a diet that's appropriate for a specific species. Like, when's the last time you've seen a lion with high blood pressure or diabetes or any sort of cat or carnivore species in nature? They don't have these issues, right? We have issues because we eat plants. That is it, for sure. We are not supposed to be eating plants. We never ate plants during Ice Age periods, which means those plants didn't exist, yet we survived, right? That push and that stress through history is what pushed us into being carnivores. And now that, you know, the planet's warmed up and we've got more plants, it doesn't mean that we are supposed to be eating them. Indigenous cultures that eat meat, they have no cavities, they have no cancer, diabetes. I mean, these things don't even exist, right? So why are we pretending that the issues that we're having as a species are due to meat and high cholesterol? But cholesterol is a superfood. Every cell in your body, every hormone in your body requires cholesterol in order to function, right? So we're going to the doctor, and the doctor says, "Oh, your cholesterol is high. You've been eating meat. You're going to have to lay off the meat, or we're going to put you on a drug." That's the other thing. The statistics for cholesterol and all the data that pushes cholesterol into the category of a danger was created by pharma. And why would they do that? Statins are a huge moneymaker, right? Not required. They definitely don't need statins. Statins are deadly. We know that. It destroys your CoQ10. You have no, you can't. It's just one of those things. It's almost like everything the government or big corporations has ever done. Like, if they tell you to do something, you do the opposite. Because the best, like the food pyramid itself, if you flipped it over upside down and you reversed it, that would actually be closer to what you're supposed to eat, right? But I don't think that there's definitely no obligate reason for humans to ever consume plants, sugar, or vegetables. All the nutrients that you need are located in the meat. Everything. You can survive 100% on meat. You'll have no digestive problems. You'll have perfect poop. I know that sounds weird, but plant-based people do not have perfect poop. They all have issues, right? Most people don't know what your poop is supposed to look like. I do, right? And I didn't know it until I gave up plants. There's absolutely no reason that we need to eat these things, right? There's nothing more satisfying than sitting down to a ribeye and tackling a ribeye. Lately, I've been eating 1.5. I've been hitting legs really hard at the gym, and the cool part is the energy levels are just like it. Yeah, you don't get the burst of energy that you get when you eat a bunch of carbs, but you do. Anything that goes up has to come down. So why do I want to shoot for something that's going to give me a giant burst, but then the rest of the day I'm going to crash? That doesn't, that's not sustainable. And from an evolutionary perspective, that doesn't even make sense. I need to be on my game all day long, steady. Right? I don't need to have a ton of energy for 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's like I want to sit down on the couch. Right? I could work out at any time of day. I feel fine, feel great. It doesn't matter. I mean, when you're not running on sugar and carbohydrates, you will feel better. Humans are 100% addicted to carbohydrates. We get rewarded by eating sugar because it's supposed to be a rare thing, and yes, maybe that sugar can get you through 2 days of something bad that's happened, but we shouldn't be rewarding ourselves with endorphins and well, hell, sugar. When I say sugar, I mean plants. Okay, all plants break down into sugar eventually. That's all plants. Carbohydrates. Broccoli breaks down into sugar. Carbohydrates, rice. That's all sugar. Okay, so we're rewarding ourselves every 2 hours. We're addicted. And when you're addicted to stuff, your life goes down. You can't function normally because everything is about the next fix. Ask any drug addict. Okay, when you are not addicted to your food, you get to enjoy and eat and feel like a human. We're not human when we're going through this. Every 2 hour, I got to eat thing. And that's the biggest sign of metabolic disorder. If you can't go more than a few hours without eating, oh, my blood sugar. That was bullshit. Your blood sugar is not low. The problem is you're insulin insensitive, meaning that you're eating, but your body's not responding to the sugar because you've got too much of it. It's saying, hey, there's too much here. We don't need any more in the cell. Stop responding to the insulin. And then that happens, and then you guess what happens to the sugar? You convert it to fat and triglycerides. Okay? We should not be giving ourselves a dopamine hit every couple hours when we're going to eat. There's not. And all plant, I stress this when people, they say, what do you mean all, like you don't eat any vegetables? No, absolutely not. Broccoli is not your friend. Kale does not love you back. Like, people say that all the time. It's so true. Every plant exists on a spectrum of toxicity. So what that means is that we know that every single plant is toxic, right? Some are more than others, but there are more berries that if you go out and you eat that will kill you than are at the grocery store that you can't eat, which means there are more things that you can't eat in the plant world than there are that you can. The opposite is true with meat. There's very few. There may be some like frog toxins or something that you can't eat, but generally the flesh by itself, if you just eat the flesh of any animal, you're going to survive. You're going to thrive. There's no problem with most 99% of meat. There are a lot of plants that fuck you up. Am I allowed to say fuck on YouTube? I don't know. It's my third video, so sorry. Anyway, there are plants that, if you think about what cocaine does, right? Nicotine, that's a toxin. Caffeine, that's a toxin. It's a pesticide. These are pesticides that the plants naturally produce. Every plant has some sort of toxin. How they affect us is different, but even though it just has one, like nicotine isn't the only thing that's in tobacco. There's hundreds and thousands of other chemicals in every single plant. We don't even know what all of them do, right? We do know that they cause brain inflammation. We know that that we can become addicted to them. There's ayahuasca, right? There's marijuana. All these different plants have chemicals in them that affect us. Plus, plants are medicine. They're not designed to be our food. And there's a lot of data, new evidence out there that I've found, and like it's so hard to what are you doing, buddy? it's so hard to like explain it to people without being able to throw all this stuff at you at once. But if you peel back the layers and like you start to investigate this stuff, you're gonna find that, man, not only are we being lied to, it's almost as if it's intentional to like make us die early. You know, my new, and I have a very strong distrust of the government. I've said this many times. My first instinct when the government comes out with any sort of data is do the opposite, and you'll live a long and happy life. And I 1,000% believe that. But yeah, so I mean, if you guys have questions, like I'm just started the group because I wanted to get the word out there to like, you know, have other people that can. There's a lot of groups out there, and a lot of them I think are just like super dogmatic, and they, you know, they get focused on, you know, oh, you can't eat that, or you're not a carnivore. Like, who cares? You know, my goal is to feel better. I want to feel better. I want my kids to live. I want to live to 120 years, like I know we're supposed to, right? Health is my goal, and I want other people around me to be healthy. You know, and the other thing I know for a fact that whatever you can call it, the Illuminati or the you know, the elite or whatever, but there's a group of people that want us dead, that don't want us using up their you know, their resources, and they think that we're just people that eat their food, and you know, we're a waste on society and the planet. Those people created, they call it the weapons system, right? That is their terminology for a food system. They know that an indigenous culture that eats their food that they're supposed to eat, for humans that would be a carnivore based diet, those people are very hard to take over. You cannot take over a country of people who eat their species appropriate diet, because they will fight you tooth and nail. They will not give up. They will, you know, the guerrilla warfare and the tactics, hi buddy, of those cultures, you can't beat them. I mean, yeah, sure you could if you came in with nuclear bombs and did this and that, then yes, you could win. But historically, they know that those cultures they're not defeated very easily, right? But what's been going on now is these third world countries, we've gone in and we've said, hey, we'll help industrialize you. We'll give you McDonald's. We'll give you Burger King. We'll give you Chick-fil-A. And what happens? Within 2 or 3 years, their governments are crashing. The people are, you know, they'll rebel, but they don't really like know what they're doing, and nothing really good happens, and then they crash. It's the easiest way to take over a country is to poison them. You poison them with the type of food, the industrialization, the seed oils, the, you know, heavy grains, white rice, all this stuff, all these grains, any sort of powder, almond powder. You know, people go gluten free and then they go to these almond powders that are full of cyanide. Anything that's refined and ground up and is just like a plain white, that's not what we're supposed to eat. We're not supposed to eat that, for sure. 100% we're not supposed to eat that. If you focus on meat and you cut out these plants, I know it sounds like it's going to be hard, and it is at first, but once you're past those sugar cravings, your life will change. You will no longer have metabolic disorder. I think the statistics are wrong. They say more than like 70% of people have metabolic disorder. I think it's higher. I think any person who feels hungry after only a couple hours and is like, oh my god, I need to eat, which is most people, they start to, or hangry. If you ever get hangry, you're tapping on metabolic disorder's door. We don't know what the levels are, but I guarantee you have it. You don't get to feel like a human every day, and I do, and I want to share that. I want to get people to, you know, get involved. It's the only thing I've ever really felt passionate about. You know, is health, and I've spent a lot of years in the gym, but man, we're just all missing the big picture, and the big picture is like true health. You know, and if we all get together and, you know, especially patriots, man, like how many of us are in terrible shape? Yeah, we all want to pick up a rifle and, you know, defend our country, or, you know, defeat our enemies, or, you know, protect what we love. But damn, if we can't do that because we're sick and fat, and, you know, can't walk across the room because we can't create enough energy to do it. Metabolic disorder is a serious thing. You know, but anyway. Yeah, so that my goal is to just help, and, you know, please like things that I post in the group, and share them and get them out there. Invite your friends. We want, you know, I want people to see, and even if you don't believe me, just to have an open mind. Just like pretend that whatever you were taught was wrong, and that you don't know anything, and you just listen to it, and just like propose that it's a possibility and an idea. When you do that, because I did the same thing. I was like, what do you mean you can't live on just meat? That's crazy. You gotta have vegetables, right? No, you don't have to have vegetables. There's nothing in vegetables that we need. There's nothing in plants that we need. Like, you don't need, there's everything you need, including vitamin C, is in meat. I just learned this the other day. The Napoleon. Hey Zen, come here, buddy. Don't mess with that. The Napoleon Wars. The soldiers would get scurvy. Do you know how they would cure soldiers that got scurvy? They would give them horse meat from like some of the horses that were dying, or that they didn't have a lot of meat, but that's where they would get. They would give the soldiers horse meat, and scurvy would go away. Right? It's in the meat, and also when you're eating a high carbohydrate diet, you need a lot more vitamin C than you do when you're eating meat. You're able to use and utilize your nutrients that you're getting from meat much more effectively. All of the different nutrients that are, hey Zoe, Zen, come here, buddy. Don't touch that. Come here. Come here. All of the nutrients that are in plants aren't necessarily nutrients that we're even able to absorb, right? And this is data that we know this, and we're being lied to. They're not telling us this stuff, all right? Say hi, Zen. Hi. Hi. Say hi. He's got the cutest voice when he says hi. Say hi. So you're mad because Daddy ate all the steak? I'll have to. Oh, I see. That's a fly. Daddy will make you some more inside. Anyway, I'll let you go. It's been 21 minutes. I just figured I'd get some more, do me a favor and, invite other people anybody you care about. Jesus, I want to live to 120 years. And I think this is how you do it. We know genetically, that's how long we're supposed to live. And the average person, especially if you have metabolic disorder, you're not going to make it past 60. You got kids and family. You got people you care about. Get them in the group. Get them, just say, hey, just keep an open mind, right? It's going to blow your mind. It's hard. It's the amount of, okay, buddy. The amount of dogma that's in our diet and people thinking that we're supposed to be plant-based is so heavily ingrained, and they're winning. The powers that be are winning because they have you all tricked. I guarantee you're not supposed to be eating plants, and if you dive into it, you'll see what I'm seeing. So, anyway, we'll see you later. Say bye, Zen. Say hi. Hi, bye. Hi. You're cute. Bye. There, you did it. Bye.